boo?
What's going on, Yvonne?
Long time no see, huh, sister?
Oh, I love it.
You just can't get away from each other.
Except I wish that we were like fully together.
I know. One day. I
Like
feel like we haven't seen
together,
each other in
together. I
forever.
know. We were on such a good streak.
My lighting's terrible in here, but like there's no other choice here. So
It's fine.
we're just doing the best we can.
It
You know,
is fine. Nothing matters.
matters. We're here. I look like a boy and I don't care. Maybe it's
Oh,
a good look. Maybe I should consider it.
my hair is gray,
Still
and
greasy?
yep, we're greasy, we're pimply. We're doing our best. And
Going through.
I think you look so cute in your hat.
Thanks. I showered yesterday and I was like, perfect. My hair is like actually clean. And then I woke up and I was like, my hair looks like crap. Don't you hate when that happens when you like clean it
Yes.
and then it still looks like crap? You're like, what the fuck? I don't have time to do anything
Yes.
with it. I just thought it would be a miracle.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, there's no time to style it. There's no time, there's no energy to style it.
Just don't have time for that.
I know. I
Um,
literally just washed my hair on Sunday night.
yeah.
You shouldn't already be feeling like this. Like it is fully, I mean, but that's the thing. I didn't do anything with it. I feel like it's hard to see from here. It has like the dread style going underneath, but then greasy on the top. It's
Sometimes
nice.
I just brush it to like brush the oil out to get into the hair.
Yep, yep, yep.
In my head, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just looking into the corner of my eye. And I just want to show you my brand new hair. She all
Pretty.
black, she cute. Isn't it cute that like I'm not using it because my mic doesn't fit into these little slots? I'm like,
Yeah, of course.
what?
Of
Why can't I
course.
just like live, people?
Oh, is there not actual USB drives in it?
No, no. I'm like, what? So now I need to buy like an adapter or something.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say selfishly. I mean, not selfishly. It is for the good of the both of ours and our
Okay.
biz. We should totally use your new laptop for all the like video recordings
Absolutely.
because your camera's definitely better than mine. This thing is
Yeah.
from like I don't even know when.
Yeah. The computer I'm recording on right now, I think is like from 2018. So
Yeah,
it's,
this actually
yeah.
I think this one is too.
Yeah.
That
So.
came off my
You know what? She's
camera.
still going though. She's still going.
Yeah, just
So
hanging
proud of her.
on.
Just hanging
Now I'm
on.
like curious. What year is this, Mac? Does it not tell me?
That seems like something I don't even want to know.
2017.
Oh, all right. Well, then the one I'm on is definitely older than yours. So
Mm.
whatever.
Well, anywho,
Er,
how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I got a full night's sleep because Chad took Annie last night. So I feel like it was really nice to actually
Oh,
slumber, you
that's
know?
amazing. I love that for you. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. I mean, I still woke up and fed her, but
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
well,
Just once doesn't count.
yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Great. I'm good. I had a good day. So it was like a busy day, but it went by really fast. And I must be almost in my ovulation period because I am just happy as a clam. I got energy
Amazing. I
up
was about
the
to say you're
ass.
horny.
Yeah, you're just so freaking horny.
Look at this girl. She's like, I gotta tell the world, okay? I
Woo!
must be ovulating. I'm very horny.
Actually, like truly not. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm there with you, girl. Anywho, I'm excited to record this.
Me too. I feel like because we literally just recorded yesterday our intro,
Yeah.
instead of doing a rosebud thorn,
Ooh.
why don't you tell the people like what content you've been consuming? Any good shows?
Oh wow, you're throwing a wrench in my brain
Any
here. I can take it.
movies? Any books?
Content, yes, because I
Podcasts?
was just on my deathbed, and so like
Oh, right.
TV was the only choice of our situation. So we just finished The Last of Us
Mm,
on I think HBO or Apple,
hmm.
it's one of those.
It's HBO.
And I actually really liked it. I was surprised. I thought I wasn't going to. I really liked it. It was kind of like obviously there's like the zombie part of it, but there's also a cuter little story underneath it. So I would recommend, I would say maybe like 4 out of 5 stars for that. And we're also watching Ted Lasso, which is like for me
Mhm.
just like a winner in my book. I love Ted Lasso. And those are the two shows we're watching. What about you?
Hot takes. We're watching The Last of Us too, and I agree. I thought I was really not gonna like it because I am not a zombie gal,
Yeah.
but it's
I
not
mean, we
really
are.
like
We are zombies, but we're not
yes,
watching about them.
yes.
We're about living the life.
It's like not really zombie-ish. Like
Mhm.
it also was scarily close to home, literally because it's Boston and
Yes.
also because like pandemic things,
Yeah,
which I think was done purposefully.
truthful.
So don't love that. Also, anytime I watch something like this, it just solidifies my stance that if anything like this ever happened, I want to go down. I do not want to survive.
Oh yeah,
I will be
so
the
true.
one just ending it for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be the last of us. I
Yep.
want to be the first one to go.
So true. So true. I thought that while I was watching it too. Like I want to be the first one, just like quick and
Yeah,
easy. Put me out
yeah,
of my misery. I
same.
don't want to turn into a mushroom, you know?
No, I don't want to turn into a mushroom. I don't want to be eaten by the mushroom people.
Hmm. Just let me
No,
go.
no, yeah, agreed.
Truthful. What are you reading? Are you
Um,
reading anything?
I like started Mad Honey, but I feel like I haven't read it consistently enough.
Is that a poem book?
No, that's what is that, Milk and Honey or whatever,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I have read and it's cute.
Yeah.
Um, thought provoking.
Mm.
A lot of people said Mad Honey was so good. It's a Jodi Picoult book, or however you say her last name.
Oh, okay. She's great.
Yeah, so I'm excited to read that on the plane and during my vacation.
Ooh.
I did just read The Dinner List,
Okay.
which I actually really, really liked. Highly recommend. It was an easy read, so I read it pretty quickly, which love that. And it's like magical realism, which I don't think I normally like when there's like flashbacks and all that kind of stuff. But it was basically like um, this girl and her friend make a dinner list, like all the people that you would want to have at this like fake dinner.
Wait,
Like,
you sound crunchy.
oh, I think,
There we go. Yeah. You're
oh,
like leaning
please.
on something.
This is why. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's way better now.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was
Oh, you
attached.
were recording through your headphones.
Uh-huh.
Love that.
Yeah,
You're
for
here
sure.
now.
For sure.
Would it be a true R podcast if there wasn't something technical
If I
going
didn't
on?
mess up the audio, of course not. Like
Not
that's
you, it's us.
just
Okay.
yeah, it's just very on brand. I am nothing if not consistent. But basically they like choose like one of those, if you could have dinner with any, 7 people, and her dinner list comes to life somehow. And like she walks into her birthday dinner and it's like all these 7 people. It's like Audrey Hepburn, her dad who is like estranged, and her like love of her life that she had broken up with or whatever. And it kind of goes like scenes from the dinner and then flashbacks to stuff that happened in those relationships. And I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna hate it when I first started it. It was so freaking good.
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah,
fun. A little
highly
different.
recommend. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Mix it up.
Cool.
That's
What
about
about
that.
podcast? You're a big podcast girl.
I am. Actually, I just listened to Green Lights. It's an audiobook, not a podcast, but
Okay.
by Matthew McConaughey.
You liked
It's
it.
loved it.
Wow.
I mean, first of all, his like upbringing is like unhinged Texan experienced.
Okay.
But one, you get to listen to his voice for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Love that. And there was actually so many nice just takeaways. Like the whole thing is the green lights of life. Like we tend to see things as like red lights or like a door closed, but really it's like leading you to something that you're supposed to go to. It was nice.
Oh, I like that. I'll have to do that. I actually don't like audiobooks whatsoever. I feel like that's such an unpopular opinion of 2023. Everyone listens to I like cannot focus enough to do that.
I definitely find myself having to like rewind and refocus. Like I really only listen to them if I'm walking Poe, because then it's like I'm just walking. If I'm like doing stuff around the house or whatever, like my mind definitely wanders way too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my mind is just like doing too much. It's like stop trying to do more.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
Well, shall we interview ourselves, each other?
Shall we interview ourselves? You know what? I think it's time. I think it's time. Are you
time.
ready? I have my list here.
Ooh,
Okay.
handwritten and
These are actually,
everything.
I'm gonna go quick so you literally can't see them. No, but these are
Me too.
my what are they called?
Yes.
What are they called?
Your wedding stationery.
My wedding stationery. Like these are what my mother-in-law at our wedding. I don't like pink. Okay, let's start there. Like before having a baby, I hated pink. Having a baby girl. These are hot pink, like the worst of the pinks,
I
in my
forgot about
humble
these.
opinion. And she ordered like 500 pads of them. And we're like, here, that's what they're called. You're going to give these out as favors for your wedding. And I was like, no, I'm not. And we shoved them underneath like a table because I wasn't about to give them out. And now we still have them in my attic, which are like, I use them all the time. I actually love them now. And they're actually really pretty. They're like a little background and Marblehead in them. Like they're very thoughtful, but like,
but like it could have been like a white piece of paper.
or like a conversation. I don't know. But they just showed up in my wedding when I was like, not having it. So anyways,
I remember that. That's
good
funny.
times. I'll send you a pad.
Oh,
maybe all the
please do.
listeners can get a pad. I get a ton in my.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
We'll do a giveaway. Yes. Wow. Send me your address. I will send you a Caitlin and Chad June 18th, 2016. That's how long it has been since we've been married. And we still have like 50 pads of notebooks.
That's incredible. So many things for to-do lists.
Yes, I know. They're
grocery lists.
They're actually really cute too. So anyway,
so funny.
I'm ready, girl.
All right. Do you want to start it off?
Woo! Yeah.
So
right before we started this, one of my friends, Alex, was over and I was like, what question should I ask her? And so I'm going to start with her question because I didn't write it down and I'll forget it.
I'm scared.
And I feel like it was actually a good one. She asked, if you could have anyone in the world listen to our podcast, who would it be and why?
Oh my God.
Is that a good one?
That is a good one.
I know.
Okay, so I think I would choose Claudia Oshry from The Toast, which is another podcast, but she has a podcast network. And if she was aware of this untapped talent that's just sitting here dormant, she would be like, why are you not a part of our podcast network? And she would take us under her wing. And then we would become stars.
Well, we are stars.
Well, obviously, we're unicorns.
Answer. Wow. You must be good at interviews. You're going to see real soon I'm not.
No,
I'm really good. Like you had to think about that. That was fabulous.
I am not used to being an interviewee. I'm used to interviewing other people.
Ooh.
So I'm scared about this. What are you going to ask? You have to answer too.
Oh, I do?
Is that
what we're doing? Okay.
Why not?
Throw it in for me. Okay. If anyone had to listen, I would say, oh my gosh, I haven't even thought about an answer. I feel like there's the normal people you could say that would be so cool, like Taylor Swift or Beyonce, who could be just like incredible, just to connect with, like on any sort of level. I feel like if they knew I existed, I would like wet my pants type of thing.
I would definitely wet my pants if Taylor Swift knew that we existed.
Yeah, so I feel like
I am right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna tag them in their video real quick. So I would say, yeah, Taylor Swift or Beyonce, but then thinking about kind of what you were saying, I also love the Almost 30 podcast. So I feel like either of those co-hosts, if they listen to, I would feel very honored.
Yeah.
And I think the people that do listen already are also really important. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you also don't need to be Taylor Swift to listen, and it'd be
No,
like an important thing for me. So, but my final answer,
I
I think,
agree.
has to be Taylor Swift because like I just keep coming back to her and I'm like getting hot thinking about her because I love her so much.
Well, that's funny that you say that. This is such a good segue. One of my
Okay.
questions was, what is your favorite Taylor Swift era? Like, what is
Oh,
your Taylor Swift era? Not like
that
that
is
necessarily that you embody, but like, what is your go-to? Or maybe the one that you embody. I don't know. Take it
wow. That
however you will.
is the best question anyone's ever asked me. Clearly, we're big Taylor Swift fans. Thank you for asking me this question.
Yes.
I am an adaptable creature, Taylor. I
Mm,
can adapt to anything you throw my way. So like if you're giving me
agreed.
folklore, I am like
Fall
emo
vibes.
in my cardigan, okay? Like I will go wherever you need me to go. Like if
Yep.
we're gonna go like light some bitches on fire, I am there. Like we are gonna be like tattooing snakes on our body. I'm there for you.
Yep.
Um, I feel like even before the new Red came out, like the new
Mm,
track came out with All Too Well, like even before the 10-minute version, that was my favorite song of hers. Like
okay.
I would play that on repeat since like the moment it came out back in 2000 whatever.
Yeah.
But like the album in itself, Red, isn't really where I'm at.
Mm,
Like the whole album.
I agree.
So I think hmm I think I'm gonna go with Lover. I feel like in my, I feel like it's a really feel good album. It's like
Yeah.
really pretty to look at. I feel like I'm not super charged up right now in my life to like go balls to the wall with some of her like really badass shit. And I'm not
Hmm.
really like really soft right now and just like moseying through my life. I feel like Lover's kind of where I'm landing today.
I
I
see that
think,
for you.
yeah, I'm gonna answer Lover.
I love that.
And I'm going to thank you for asking me that question because I just got really happy answering it.
You're so welcome. I do want to listen to some Taylor Swift. And like, it's such a nice day out. Like, all I want to do, we should have done like carpool karaoke style recording where we just have the windows down and sing Taylor Swift on repeat.
Yes, no one would listen to that, but we
I
would have
wouldn't
fun.
want them to. I would not
No,
want them to. No.
no.
Mm-mm.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Or do you want to answer that too? Is that a question that you would like to answer?
Ooh. Okay. Um I kind of agree with you. Like I could do it all. I love honestly, I feel like I really do like most of her albums. I can't really think of one that I like don't enjoy listening to, but I feel like 1987 always just holds a special place in my heart.
Yes.
One, because that's the only Taylor Swift concert that I've ever been to.
Ugh.
And
You know what?
it
That's one more than me, and I am so sad.
I wish that we were going to Eras. And it's not too late. Like I think it could still happen for us.
Yeah.
Um, but I was forever changed.
Yes.
And I feel like I also that came out during like a very pivotal point in my life in terms of like young 20s, like really like a really like fun time of life where you're like still so young and free but also kind of like really entering adulthood, like learning a lot about myself. I went through like a pretty bad, I don't even want to call it a breakup, like just like a transformative horrible up and down
Yes.
situationship situation that like really helped me come into my own. So some of the like Clean
Yep.
makes me want to cry every time.
Yeah.
It's so good.
She really is powerful. Her words are like really powerful.
Powerful.
Yep.
She is the lyricist of our generation.
Oh, so true. So
Mm,
true. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you another question. I want to know which one I
okay.
want to go with. Okay, this is kind of a fun one. What is or was your favorite age and why?
Mm. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Not
Hmm.
that we're super old. I mean, we're like 30 and 31, but like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely enjoying entering my 30s just because I feel like I'm more sure of myself in ways than I ever have been. But I feel like age like 16 has a very like special place in my heart
tell me why.
because well that was when I moved to Gig Harbor, Washington when I was 15, but I feel like 16 I had like such a solid group of friends. It's like when you're a teenager and you're like getting your driver's license and like all this stuff is like happening, you know? Um I don't know. And I feel like it's like you're getting a taste of freedom, but you don't have like responsibilities yet. You're just like living.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a great answer.
You know?
Mhm.
Before the realities of life just like get ya. What
They do, man. They do.
about you?
I would say the first year of college, I think
Yeah.
that it was like I was entering a whole different life. Like
Mm-hmm.
growing up in a like majorly in one town and like really just having this like really subdued view of life and then going to UNH and like seeing that there's so many different opportunities and you don't have to like do this or that, like you can be more, you can do more. And it was just freaking fun as hell. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like a raging party every single day and like your body could handle it. Girl could not hang these days.
No.
Um but yeah, I would say freshman year of college was like really fun for me and I like really started that journey of like becoming who I am. So I would say
Yeah.
how old are you? 18, 19.
Yeah. I love that.
Yep.
Oh, oh, to be young again. Awesome. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like I have two that sort of go back to that.
Okay.
Um, what is the biggest lesson that you learned in your 20s?
Ooh, the biggest lesson I learned in my 20s. I remember vividly this image, and it's just coming to me for some reason right now. I remember I was teaching, so this was like my older 20s, my upper 20s, and I was teaching with a friend, and I was doing this after school program, and I was like teaching kids, we were reading a book, and then we are doing like an art project. And the art project was to just like paint on a rock, like a kindness rock type of thing. And the kids were having so much fun with it. And I just kind of explained the lesson. I never like showed an example or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends came in and she was so excited. She said, "This is such a cute idea." Grabbed a rock, started painting with it. And I remember in my head, like getting upset. And I was like, what's going like thinking in my head what was going on in my body. I was like upset at her for doing this. And the more I thought about it, I was so jealous of her because she came in, saw like a fun opportunity and took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so I know that situation, but why am I feeling jealous of it? And I feel like because I was so afraid of like failing at anything and being like embarrassed about it, even this like ridiculous thing that like who cares what the rock looks like? It's with kids, it's not meant to be perfect. But like in my head, I was like, it's going to be a disaster, so I'm not even going to start. And I remember in that moment, I was like, wow, I really just like nailed something in my head of like all of the opportunities that are always out there that I never take because I'm so afraid of doing it the wrong way.
Yep.
And I remember from that moment on, I was like, all right, when I teach a kid like anything, like I'm going to do it too. So in my class, like I'm not a great artist, but whenever I would show examples, I'll always draw it out and they'll laugh at me and we'll all laugh and it will be hysterical. But like to this day, I always do those like the littlest things like that because
Yeah.
it's just an opportunity. Um And so I think that that would be my biggest lesson is just to take every little opportunity that you get and don't be afraid of failing because the only failure is really just like not doing it because you're only failing yourself.
Yes. I love that so much. And it actually relates to a Taylor Swift lyric
Oh, tell me more.
that I'm gonna butcher it, but it's something like no one failure doesn't exist when you're playing solitaire or something like that,
Oh,
which is such a good like perspective on failure. Like it's not failure if you're not comparing yourself to other people. It's just a lesson or like a redirection or something.
I love that.
Failure's good.
Look at you. Just call us
Look at
T
us.
Swift.
Mm,
Did you want to answer that
please.
too?
Oh man. I feel like that is a huge lesson that I wish that I knew in my 20s because I feel like there were so many things that I wanted to do or like dreams that I had when I was younger, but same thing was like so afraid of being bad at something or failing that like didn't even go after any of that kind of stuff. Um, but I think the biggest lesson I learned in my 20s was to stop looking for like external things to validate me, like to know that I had everything within myself that I was looking for rather than feeling like it needed to come from um, like a man or attention or fitting in with people or being who, I thought people wanted me to be.
Totally.
Like you got it all inside.
You do.
Yeah.
You totally do.
Mm.
Okay. So this is a question from Chad for you, and it's actually a
Oh,
serious one, believe it or not. He has a very not serious one on here that we'll get to, but
obviously,
this
it's
one's a
probably like sexual.
obviously. So this one is, what was it like moving around so much, and what
Oh,
was your favorite spot that you landed at?
oh,
So like give us a background for those of people that like don't kind of know your whereabouts.
yeah. Okay, so a little backstory. My dad was in the Navy for like 25 years or something. So up until I was a senior in high school. And we moved around. We were lucky. Like I definitely got the shit end of the stick because I had to go to 3 high schools. But we moved around a lot when I was like little, which doesn't really count. Then we were in Connecticut for like 10 years. And we changed schools once because like my parents bought a house instead of us living in Navy housing once I was in like, I don't know, elementary school. And then my sophomore year, going into my sophomore year, we moved to Washington State, Gig Harbor, right near like Tacoma, south of Seattle. And then my dad retired from the Navy, and my mom chose for us to move to Keene, New Hampshire, to be near her family. So moved there my senior year, which
So,
wasn't the best.
yeah.
Um, I would say in terms of experience, like it's such a double-edged sword because obviously like that was the experience that I had, so you have to just be grateful for it and it made me who I am. And I think it was like how you said um like going to college was really eye-opening of like there are different people and different opportunities and perspectives. And I feel like I luckily got to learn that a little bit earlier. And it gave me a sense of like, you're never stuck in one place. Like you can always change your situation or that kind of thing. Um, but I feel like it also moving, not to get like dark with it, but like moving around so much during like such formative years when you're like a teenager and you already feel so unsure of yourself and like awkward in your body and all of that, like it definitely exacerbated those feelings. And I was really lucky that I made really good friends when I moved to Washington, but then like moving from Washington to New Hampshire and having like a harder time making friends and like a much harder adjustment. I remember feeling like so just unsure of myself and feeling like, well, this is the time where everyone, which like it's not the time where everyone figures out who they are. It's like no one knows who the hell they are when you're a teenager. But I remember thinking everyone else had it figured out and me being like, am I always going to feel so unsure about who I am because I didn't have that time to like solidify it when I was with like a core group of friends and like that kind of thing. Like I missed out on that, which kind of it's fine.
Yeah.
But at the time, like senior year, being at like grad parties and everyone being like, "Oh my God, remember when like in kindergarten and now look at us." And I'd be like, "Remember when we became friends like 2 months ago? That was
Yep.
crazy."
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But living in the Pacific Northwest was the frickin' best. And I loved
Really?
it. Yes, you would love it out there.
Yeah? With
Yeah.
all the rain?
Here's the thing.
I
It's
love it.
like, yeah, it rains a lot in Seattle, but like for one season, and it's like instead of getting a bunch of snow, it's just not as cold, so it rains more.
Okay.
And then like it's not like extreme seasons, like the spring and summer are like no humidity, just gorgeous out, no mosquitoes.
Wow.
Because it rains so much, everything is like lush and so green and the skies are so blue by the time it all comes around. It is the best. And you're such like an adventurer. You
I
guys
wouldn't go
would
that far.
well, like you guys love like hiking and like doing all that. Like you
Yeah.
would thrive. Telling you.
Oh, wow. There's this place I would never like think to go either. So that's really good information.
We should totally do a little vacay.
I'm telling you, I feel like the year anniversary of our podcast coming out, we need to do like a big vacation,
Yeah.
the two of us.
That would be really awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah.
Do a little girls retreat, you know?
Ooh.
You like
Love
it.
it.
Cool. I obviously can't answer that question. So hit me with your best shot.
Okay, let's see. Let me find one. I don't know if I have a good transition. Okay, well, here's one that I can't answer.
Okay.
So, what's one thing that you wish someone had told you about motherhood and or pregnancy?
Oh, we could have a whole podcast on that. Are you kidding
We
me?
probably should at some point.
Yeah, we definitely should have one. That is a big question. All right, something that someone didn't tell me about motherhood or pregnancy. I'll
Mhm.
start with pregnancy. Pregnancy, something that someone didn't tell me. It can be good and bad.
Mhm.
I think that it's really confusing when you're pregnant. Like you either hear people complain about it or love it. I think that that's where my head was of like people were either loved being pregnant and they were like beautiful pregnant and like only said good things and like their bodies just looked beautiful pregnant, you know?
Mhm.
Or people just don't like it. I mean, it's uncomfortable and your whole body changes and you know, you can't do as much. Um, but for me, I loved being pregnant. I loved the way my body looked. I felt really good in my skin. Um, until I was about like 8.5 months pregnant and it went to shit. I was super depressed. I was
Aw.
like really having a hard time. I was crying like all day, every day, just
Aw.
uncontrollably. Um, and I like didn't like the way I looked when I was like really pregnant. And it was like embarrassing. Like it feels like you're like naked and you're not type of thing
Yeah.
because it's like everyone looks at you, everyone has some type of comment, you know, and it's never like wow you're so beautiful or like your body's doing such an amazing job, like look at you go,
Right. It's like, oh my God, you're about to pop.
every single
Like,
time.
yeah, bitch, I realize.
Yeah. um and I think like the body image at the very end was hard for me and I like physically couldn't move very much, and my baby was like stuck in my ribs, so my ribs
Yeah.
were like pulling apart.
Oh,
um, but then I
ouch.
also like loved like the little kicks and the flutters and like
Yeah.
I rubbed my belly until I was like 3 months postpartum because it was just like
Oh,
part of that process for me.
yeah.
So I think during pregnancy is that it can be good and bad
Yeah.
simultaneously.
I love that.
that no one talks about. And no one talks about the fact that you can actually get depressed when you're pregnant. Everyone talks about postpartum depression, which is obviously a big thing, but you can also get it when you're pregnant, which
Yeah,
I definitely did towards the end. So there's that. And
I love that
yeah,
honesty.
yeah. Oh girl, I am here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I would say motherhood. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's so much, so much. Um, I would say for me, I'm still figuring out like if I'm doing it right, for like
Mm,
lack of a better term. And I think that everyone feels that way in their own way,
mm-hmm.
but it's like I think sometimes like how are moms like doing all of this? Like am I what am I doing wrong that like I can't do as much as they can? You know,
Mm.
like all the time. And I know mentally that like they aren't doing it all and they
Right.
have different types of help and they might be doing this thing but they're not doing that thing. But in my mind like I'm like how are people going to work? Like how do you get out the door by 8 a.m.? Like I seriously am like amazed by that.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then I take it a step further of like, well, I must be doing something wrong because I cannot do that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure other moms feel that way in different ways. So I think that there's that sense that people don't tell you of like you're gonna feel like you're doing it wrong. Like some of it's not instinctual, like
Yeah.
I'm a very instinctually like loving person and I know what Annie needs really like easily, I can like love on her as much as I can, but it's not like instinctual to like know how to manage her, I guess is the word. Like
Yeah.
we don't have a schedule still and she's 10 months old.
Yeah, totally.
Um and so I think that that constant thing and like feeling of you're not doing it right just
Mm-hmm.
because you're not doing it the same way as everyone else. And I might be solo mission on that. I don't know, but that's how I'm feeling. Another thing that people don't tell you about motherhood is just like, well, I guess they do, and I don't think you can really embody it until you go through it. And I hate that saying because people would always say that, and that when I didn't have a baby, and I'd get like annoyed because it's like not everyone can have a baby or like people are struggling to get pregnant and like that's not the right thing to say, but it's true of like you your whole like being becomes them. Like they are a limb
Yeah.
of you when they come out and it's like nothing else matters.
Mm.
And it's like such a insane feeling. Like I remember when she was born, someone saying to me like, "Don't you just love her so much?" And I remember like looking at them and like crying in my like postpartum like oh emotions.
Right.
And
You're like,
I'm
that
like,
doesn't even begin to
yeah,
describe it.
that's
How
I
dare
was like,
you?
there's not a word. Like love isn't the word. And I really think that it's true. Like it's not love that you feel. It's like a different out of world feeling.
Yeah.
Um, which is wild. So there
Oh,
you go.
I love that. Wait, can I ask a follow-up question also?
Please do.
So that was another question that I had written down, because I feel like everyone talks about how like you change when you become a mother and in so many different ways. And I think each person it probably is a little bit different. But do you feel like you changed at all as a mother? And like, can you describe that?
Ooh.
I guess beyond the like insane amount of love, but any like perspective changes or anything?
Yeah, that's a really good question too. I think I'm in that season. I
Yeah.
think that everything is different.
Yeah. You're
I
like,
would
yes, my whole
say,
life.
yeah, I tell everyone like if you when you get married, nothing should change. Like if you're doing it right, nothing should change. And when you have a baby, everything should change.
Hmm.
So yes, I think that my whole identity is like in the washer right now. Like we're on spin cycle, we're figuring out who I'm going to like emerge as. And that's why I'm dabbling in all of these little projects because like everything I see in the world is different now. Like
Yeah.
I look at school systems and I'm like, I don't even know if I want Annie to go to school, like to public school, and which is wild because I'm a public school teacher.
Yeah, totally.
Like
Well, you know better than the rest of us, so
yes, yes.
that says something.
And so yeah, I think that everything has a different perspective. I think about like who I'm with and the way that they perceive the world. Like if I'm around really negative people, I'm like, well, Annie's gonna pick up on this. And so like how do we change the conversation? You know, like little things like
Yeah.
that. But I'm definitely in the cycle of like finding my own identity again, and it's like completely different than who I was. I think that like I just don't have time either for like bullshit. So it's like I'm going to give whatever I get from people. So like if you're giving me like I have some incredible people in my life that are like showing up, they're texting, they're calling, they're like checking in on us because it is an insane job of being a mom, and like they're the ones getting pictures and phone calls back and videos, and like you know like I rely on them. You're like my village, and it's a reciprocation, but like I don't have time if you're not texting me and calling me or like anything like that. I'm not in the season of my life anymore to reach out to you. And it's like that's hard to say, but I'm just not.
Well, I think
And
it's
so
like so far beyond like, oh, well, you don't text me, but it's like you don't put effort into the relationship. I can't be the only one. Like I don't have the freaking energy and the space in my life to be overextending
exactly.
to people that aren't giving anything
Yep.
back. Like I
And
think
that's with
that's
family even too. I'm like, I just
yeah.
don't have time for it. And it's not like a bad thing. Like maybe we'll reconnect later on down in life, but it's
Yeah.
like it is crazy the amount of people that are now in my life and the amount of people that are like simmering out because of life, you know? And
Yeah.
it makes me realize too like how much like of me was I giving to other people that didn't deserve it,
Mm,
you know?
preach.
Which is
Could
so
do.
hard for me because that's like my like worst fear because I want to like be the best for everyone, and I always don't mind being that person to reach out, but like it's just not in me anymore. You're just not
Yeah.
my priority.
I think that that's like a very healthy thing, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is, but it's hard
It
to
is hard.
process, and it's hard um to kind of follow through with that
Yeah.
in your conversations and in your relationships.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it.
Totally. Ugh,
Totes.
teach me your ways.
Mm,
I'm working
have
on
a
that.
baby.
Yeah,
Everyone get
right?
pregnant right now.
Well, there's so many freaking cute babies in my life right now. My ovaries are just like on fire.
Oh,
Like, it's
yeah,
an issue.
I hear ya. I know. One of my friends is pregnant again, and I'm like so happy for her. And I was like for a second like, "Oh my God, I should have it." And I was like, "What am I thinking? I can never get pregnant right now."
You're like, yes, perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like, "Wow, that's a great idea. We could have two babies the same age." And I'm like, "Oh my God.
Yeah,
No.
brings you right back down to earth real
This
quick.
mama is not ready for that."
Yep, yep.
Okay.
All right, you hit me.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. This was a kind of fun one for me to think about. If someone gave you $1 million, but
Oh,
then made you donate it all to charity,
oh.
which charity would you choose and why?
Uh-huh.
You were like, ooh, ee.
I was
You're like,
like,
I'm trying to be nice here.
yeah. And then I'm like, "Ugh, frick, are you
We're going
kidding?
to be multimillionaires. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay. We need
yeah.
more than a million, anyways.
I mean, in this economy,
Yeah.
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 Um, I probably would donate it to, I think like half to like a dog rescue kind of organization. I don't really have a particular one in mind. Um, and then maybe one, Mark is like really yelling on a work call right now.
Yeah. He's really mad, huh?
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Mark, shut
Martha,
up.
you're
We're
fired
recording our
again.
podcast. I told you. Um, and then maybe one that either, I think one that helps women in like domestic violence scenarios, like women, helps women like get out and get back on their feet. Cause I feel like that is just so huge of like, so there's so many women just like stuck in scenarios that if they just had a helping hand or a lifeline, they could get out.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's so needed. I feel like that's just not even talked about anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like domestic violence, and it's like a huge thing.
Yeah, and even just like the ins and the outs of like the flaws in the court system, like if there's like kids involved and all
Yeah,
of that too.
totally.
It's just great.
Good answer.
Yeah. What about you?
I would agree. Obviously, I would give half to the pups
The
because
dogs.
like one of my dreams is to own like a dog sanctuary and just rescue all the animals with my like acreage behind me.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen for
It'll
sure.
happen. And I think I like before having a baby, I would say all the money to the puppies. Now I think I would give the
Fuck the
other half,
babies.
honestly, to Planned Parenthood.
I'm like,
And
you know what? Yes. Yes.
I think because it stems there, like I want to say to babies and I want to say to kids because I think that like you think of like orphanages and like the foster system, and I think that there's so many problems with that. It's so sad. But I think that it starts with, before even life. And I think that that
Yeah.
is like supporting women in their bodies and their choices.
Mm.
And I think that women are smart enough to know that they can make a choice for their
Preach.
body and for their future.
Preach.
Um, and it's crazy now because I see how difficult it is to have a baby, and I'm 31 with a very supportive husband, and I could not even fathom being younger and alone and with disgusting circumstances and then being told
Facts.
that I had to have the baby.
Yeah,
Um,
I changed my answer and I agree with
puts me
you.
it
In
puts me on
this day
fire.
and age, I am lit up right
Yeah,
now because
yeah,
for a split second, I forgot about the disgusting state of our nation. So actually, yeah, Planned Parenthood and like maybe like the ACLU or something, like,
yeah,
can we protect trans rights and can we protect
yeah,
women's rights?
yeah.
Because get your shit together, America.
I know. I know. I know. Chad and I, when we were in Arizona, we ended up going to a pride festival
Oh,
and
nice.
it was so much fun. Annie was like loving it.
I
Like,
bet.
I think like I saw nicer asses there than I have anywhere.
Of
Um,
course.
but Chad was like, it's kind of crazy that I don't get afraid walking down the street, but I'm afraid that like something could happen to us at a pride festival because like not because of like anyone there, but because of the people trying to
Because
hurt
of
them.
hateful people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, that is so true and so sad.
It's so sad.
So
People are
I,
just ignorant and
yeah,
afraid of what they don't know, but they're too stubborn and ignorant to like see someone else's like humanness
yeah.
and perspective. It's really gross.
Do you hear Oscar and Lincoln howling?
Very, very
Very
lightly.
faintly. Yeah. Because I'm not letting them up to the third floor. So I
Oh.
gated them off. All right. Your turn.
Okay. Um. mm, mm, mm. Okay, I have a two-part question.
Okay.
First part, what is something that is like a very like inherently you trait, like something that is so a part of who you are that like you wish you could change, but you just like you cannot.
Ooh. So inherently me. There's a bunch of things. I'm thinking all of them negative, which is which is probably telling.
I mean, I think that's a kind of what the question is, you know? Like you kind of like
Um,
wish you could change it, but it's like that's just who I am.
yeah. So I would say something that's inherently me that I can't change really is just the constant doubting, I think.
Mm.
Doubting
Oh,
myself. I think that it's just ingrained and I'm trying so hard, but it's just hard, man. Like I always have conversations and then I don't really know how to end them instead of saying, "But if that doesn't work out for you," or
no.
like, "Just let
Yes.
me know." I'm
No
trying to
worries.
no worries. I'm
All
like,
worries.
yeah, yeah, all the worries.
Only
So I would
worries.
say that is like trying to be cool as a cucumber, but like everyone knows I'm not cool as a cucumber.
Mm.
So just bear with me, folks.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I do
What
feel
about
that.
you?
Um, Yeah, I feel like imposter syndrome, that kind of stuff. And then like on a lighter note, my misophonia, which is my utter disgust and disdain for mouth noises, like
Oh,
it is a real thing.
that's so interesting.
Like if Mark and I are like bring our dinner into the living room and then are like scrolling through Netflix trying to figure out what we're gonna watch and he's sitting there chewing his food, it's all I can hear and it makes me physically angry.
Wow.
And I literally will be like, I'm so sorry. I know I am just like an angry bitch, a naggy wife, but like, please just stop for just until we pick a show. Just turn anything on because like it makes me want to rip my ears off my head. And it's not just him, it's anyone. Like if I hear gum chewing or anything, like I don't know what it is. And I wish that I didn't care, but it hurts my soul.
Well, that's good to know. You should definitely let all your friends know that because I've probably been very annoying.
No, not at all.
You're like,
You
stop drinking your water.
you have a very quiet mouth. Oh, and then the second part of that is what is a trait that you really love about yourself to bring it to the flip side?
Ooh, I like that one too. That I'm always trying to better myself. It's like
Yeah.
obnoxious almost.
You're like, I wish I could change this
So-
about myself, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, actually, this isn't positive. No, obviously it is positive. I feel like I'm always trying to be better and do better and think better. And it is a contagious trait because I feel like I talk about it all the time and other people are then kind of like get it in their minds. And I've heard some good feedback from like my friends and things like that. So I
Yeah.
really like that about myself is that I'm just a constant mover, constant grower.
She's an evolver. She's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. Fun fact. I like that. What about you? What do you love about yourself?
Um, I mean, I think love hate, but I'm like a very sensitive person and I feel my feelings very heavily. I have big feelings and I think it can be a tough thing, but I think it's also like a special thing. Like it makes me more empathetic. It makes me like I think care more deeply about like people I don't know or you know what I mean? And I think that although it can be hindering at times because I'll be debilitated from like watching a documentary on Netflix or something about people that I don't know and like can't help. It also is like kind of it's a nice way to like go through life,
Totally.
feeling all the feels.
I'm there with you, sister.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How many more questions do we think we want to do so I know which ones to answer?
Maybe we each choose like two more,
That's what
three
I was
more.
going to say. I think two more.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna choose.
More. Is it my turn or your turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Marry, fuck, kill.
Okay, I have a good one for you after that
You
then.
know who came up with this one, right?
Chad, obviously.
You got it.
He's like me, Mikey Sue, or Mark.
Are you kidding me? That's literally what he said at first.
Shut
And
up.
Like, nope. We don't need that answer. Thank you, sir.
I'm like, yeah, I would fuck your husband. And like, he's like, I'm breaking up the podcast. I'm sick of this shit.
Chad's like waiting for your answer
Yep.
diligently. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's incredible.
All right. So like Mike, Mark,
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, right?
Okay, no, it's even worse though.
God, we got to get him on the pod.
Okay. Biden, Trump,
Shut up.
McConnell.
Wait, who was the last one?
Mitch McConnell.
Are you
McConnell,
fucking?
McConnell.
Are
Which one?
you
I
kidding
know.
me?
I know it's so bad. Like I can't even answer this one. It can't come back. I'm putting it in your court and not taking it back.
I'm speechless.
Dot is on the floor. She's actually mad. She's like never been mad at Chad before for all that he does. Now
I'm furious. Chad is canceled.
he's canceled. He's not even on it.
Ladies.
He's already canceled.
He's not on Instagram. Find him on Facebook and tear him to filth.
He loves Facebook because he's old. He loves it.
Like, if this is my future, no, this is similar to the zombie apocalypse. Just, I would rather kill myself than marry or fuck any of them.
All of
I
them.
would like to kill Trump and Mitch McConnell. Like,
Yeah.
Joe can live, but I don't want anything to do with him.
He can live because it's not for long.
I would rather marry Kamala Harris. She
Oh
seems
my
like she would
God.
be
She's a
uplifting.
boss. She would be the pants wearer in our relationships, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, I feel like it's so obvious that, like, okay, you have to marry Joe.
You have to.
You have to kill Trump. Like, I would find pleasure in that, honestly.
Yep. So then you're
It would
fucking
be a murder suicide because I don't know what to do with Mitch McConnell.
Oh my God, I'm literally getting red because I'm like nervous.
Right? Like, I had a physical reaction to that, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I have a good one. Who would you
Okay.
leave your husband for?
Oh, not. No, I'm kidding. You, Mark.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
let me start listing some
Mark
people up.
Driscoll.
Yeah, like who's available actually.
Yeah.
Who would I leave my husband for? For all jokes aside, I do love you, Chad. Don't worry. Not planning on leaving you anytime soon. As long as
Yeah,
you
like
get in line.
this is a hypothetical like celebrity kind
Yes.
of like unfathomable.
Okay. My go-to guy, I always answer whenever
Kid Rock.
50 Cent, Kid Rock, is Charlie Hunnam. I think that's how you say his last name. He is the actor in Sons of Anarchy.
Okay, okay.
He's like makes me melt. I like growing up in the trailer park. I like love like that thug like buzz cut. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love a bad boy.
Loves a bad boy. That's why she
And
married Chad.
I mean, he is a bad boy, I'll tell you that, but not in the sexy ways. Yeah, so I would say sayonara for Charlie, a different Charlie.
See you later, Chaz.
See you later. What about
That's
you?
amazing.
I love that one.
Right? Ugh, like there's so many. Just
I
kidding.
know. You're like, let me take my list out.
Hold on, keep it. Like, do you watch Friends when Ross laminates his hall pass list and puts it in his wallet?
Amazing. That feels right.
Okay, this is like a niche reference, I feel like, but Justin Baldoni, who is he's Raphael in Jane the Virgin.
Okay.
And he is one incredibly satisfying to look at. So that alone could stare at him all day, but he is the most like the things that this man posts about his wife
Oh.
makes me just die a little inside. And he has a podcast that's all about kind of like breaking down masculinity and the patriarchy and like trying to help men find like a healthier relationship with, you know, like their feelings, be more of a partner to their wives, and like break down all the things that like masculinity has told. Yeah, it's like,
This is a thoughtful answer. My God, what a guy.
sir,
He's a unicorn. That's for sure.
sir. Well, when I wrote that question down, I was like, who would I leave Mark for?
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna think about this. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
I love
okay.
a man that like appreciates his wife and like says that out loud, you know?
Yes.
Chad
There's
does and
nothing
like
better.
jokes about things. I'm like, be serious. What do you love about me?
Literally, I'm like, so I'll be like, okay, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And I'm like, well, how much?
Yeah. What do you love about me though?
Well, like
Hmm?
I would like specifically why and what.
Yeah.
Thank you. How do I choose?
Choose.
Wait, do I still have two more or just one more? I have one more.
You have one more. It's your
Oh my
last one.
God. Okay. Do we want a sillier one or a more serious one?
Um, I'm gonna do more of a serious one, but like it can go in any direction.
Okay. Um, so we kind of talked about this a little bit when you were talking about pregnancy, but we have talked about, um, kind of our changing relationships with body image. So I wanted to know what's something that's helped you improve your body image over the years.
Ooh,
Because, like we said, everyone and their freaking mother has body image issues
yeah.
because of how the generation in which we were raised and, the
Yeah.
patriarchy.
I would say finding things that work for me, like outfits that work for me, like not going with mainstream trends. So
Mm-hmm.
like you're not going to find me in like a crop top because I don't feel comfortable in that. Like
Yeah.
finding clothes that I really feel comfortable and like embody what I like about myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind my arms, so like I'll show off my arms, but like I don't want to wear really short shorts, not because of like, oh my God, that's gonna like I don't know, I might look like a sloozy or something, but because like I'm not
A sloozy.
sloozy. My grandma's coming out.
She's a grower, not a shower, and she's a sloozy.
And I'm sloozy. Um, but because like I'm not comfortable in that. And just like
Yeah.
really asking myself, like, what is it that like works for me instead of like I should wear this because it's on trend. And
Yeah.
asking like what I feel best and comfortable in. And then being uncomfortable in not looking 100% all the time. Like I
Yeah.
rarely wear makeup and then I'll look in the mirror and be like disappointed a lot of the times, honestly. And then just constantly like trying to change that dialogue in my head to being like, you look great. You're doing the best that you can and you're healthy. Like this is what women look like. Like this is
Yeah.
what we all look like behind the makeup.
Yeah.
And just constantly like reminding myself that when I do have those thoughts of doubt.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh man. Um, well, I love what you said about wearing things that you're comfortable in. And it's not even in the way of like dress for your body shape,
Yeah.
like
No, no, no.
that bullshit. And I think that's huge because if you're wearing something that you feel uncomfortable in, you're gonna feel even more uncomfortable in your body because you're gonna be constantly like pulling your shirt down or like adjusting your pants or whatever. So that's definitely something that um I talk about in my like body image boot camp thing. I think like a big thing for me, honestly, was like slowing down and like sitting in my feelings about it. Like I knew for the longest time that I had body image stuff, but like I was still just in such like go 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 kind of like maybe just not ready to face it or whatever, but and like not really having any trust in my body. Like it would be like the worst thing ever if I skipped a workout one day or more than one day or whatever it was. And it really took like honestly the pandemic hitting and like not going to a million workout classes to like realize like, oh, nothing crazy is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like, so one, like regaining trust in my body that like it's not gonna shut down. It actually is gonna start to feel way better.
Yeah.
And like sitting in the feelings and like asking myself like when those body image things would come up of like, I don't think that that thought's actually true, but okay, what if it is true? Why does that affect you so much and why does that matter? Like why do you need your body to be a certain way? Like who is that for and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I love that.
That was very long-winded, but
Not at all.
yeah.
All right. Are you ready for your last question?
Yes.
All right. I want the listeners to also even like pause after I ask this question
I'm
and
really scared.
answer it yourself because it could be really powerful. Close your eyes. Okay, I'm gonna have you imagine. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's 5. No, let's not even do 5. Let's do 2. We'll do a random number. 2 years from now. Okay.
Okay.
And you wake up and you are living your dream life.
Okay.
Everything that you could have imagined going the way you wanted to, has evolved and it is right there for you. So,
Okay.
what is your life looking like? Your dream life, and it's going to happen because you're thinking about it.
We're manifesting it.
So, what is your dream life?
Well, one, I think I almost just fell asleep with closing my eyes.
I feel like I have to open my eyes. I have to open
Like,
my eyes.
whoa. Okay, I really love this question.
Okay.
Well, we obviously are killing it with the pod. Like, we have grown and like killing it in the way of like we've grown a really like special community that is like actually like involved in the stuff that we do, and we're doing like live shows and hosting events that like touch people's lives and help people. Like I think that would be really fulfilling, and obviously fulfilling to continue like doing this with you, like being able to like run a biz with my best friend. And in terms of like daily lifestyle, I feel like I would be off the like early morning grind so I could have like slow mornings, more of like a slower pace of living, and still be doing help with like body image stuff for people, but also like teaching Pilates and helping women reframe their relationship with exercise. So maybe a little bit less personal training and more like mindset stuff with exercise. And then I also really want to write a book. I really have always wanted to. And I feel like writing was something like going back to talking about things that we'd stopped doing because we felt like we were too afraid to fail or like we would be bad at it. Like that's something that I always was so interested in, like growing up. And then I just like completely stopped because I felt like I wasn't good enough. And it's gonna happen.
I love that. Where do you live?
North Shore.
You're not sure.
I don't know exactly where. North Shore, like close enough to the beach. We've got a yard. Mr. Popo Man is running around, maybe with a Basset Hound brother
Ooh.
or
love
sister, because we need some like female energy up in this bitch.
Okay.
I think, let's say exactly 2 years. Maybe I am like pregnant with baby number one.
Yeah.
Like ready to pop.
Okay. I love this.
Yeah.
What else? You're getting excited. You're like, what else? can I
I'm
have?
like, what else do I have? $7 million and
I like that.
yeah.
Name it. Why not? I love that.
Okay, what about you?
That sounds beautiful. Whew, I feel like I do this thought literally every day. So
I love it.
I could write a book on it.
I feel like
Okay.
that's a good exercise though to do. Like keep your dream life at the forefront of your mind so you know what you're working towards every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say I would love to kind of like wake up slow like you do. Like I have like a picture in my head of like curtains blowing of
Oh,
like
yeah.
nice warm breeze, like salty breezy air coming through. We definitely have a house on the ocean, like on like, with a little
Mhm.
private beach for Oscar and Lincoln to run and like go swimming and everything. A big
Maybe I'll just live with you
yard.
guys.
Yeah, you can just come live with us.
Okay.
We have a big
Continue.
yard for Annie. Um, and our house is like really beautiful and big and organized.
Decluttered.
Has his own like company off-site, so that would be a big thing for me.
Offshore.
Offshore. Um, so I would say like a closet full of all things that like I feel really good in that are like handpicked by a stylist that we've gone through
Oh,
that are like just
yes.
pick out really easy. Like I never want to have a long like getting ready morning. I want it to be
Mm-mm.
like easy, easy, easy. Like a nice kitchen full of really healthy, like on the go meals, things like that. Maybe even like a chef coming in every now and then to like prep a couple different things that are just
Hell to the
easy,
yeah.
So that's kind of like what my physical world looks like. And I would say, um, mentally, like having a daily kind of routine and practice just for myself of like 15 minutes either in the morning or the night that like I just kind of tune into myself and I'm like easy with myself and continue working. Maybe I have a life coach, maybe I have a manifestation coach, but like working with someone to kind of get to that next level. I would say, career-wise, I would love to expand this podcast. I would love this to be like my main thing. I feel like I
Me
have so
too.
many things that I'm like pockets of right now. It's a little overwhelming, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to kind of like narrow in on one thing and make it like really good. So I'm gonna pick the podcast. I'm gonna say this is our main source of income.
Hell to the
It
yeah.
generates a ton of wealth into the millions, because why not?
Mm.
Um, and it's just like really easy, and it's something that we really love to do, and it lights both of us up. So I would say that would be career wise. And let's see, what else do I see? I definitely don't see any more animals. I can't handle any more animals right now. Maybe I'll be at the same boat of you of pregnant with baby number two. Maybe
At
we'll
the
be the
same
exact
time?
same thing. Yeah, why not? That would be incredible. Um, and what else? I just feel like a very gentle way of life. I'm
Yeah,
like
that's
really just like nourishing and like rewarding and doing things that feel good and light me up every day.
yeah, I totally feel you. Like just like obviously it's like stress is going to exist, but I feel like right now stress seems to like take over my being and I know that's something I need to work on internally, like it's how you react to the world also. But yeah, like a slower pace of life
Yeah.
feels like it would be so nice. I also had a thought while you were talking
Okay.
that speaking of, like the podcast being the main thing, how cool would it be for us to host like retreats? Like small groups of women even up in like in New England, like up in Vermont or in Maine or whatever, like in a big Airbnb.
We could put together something so fun.
Epic.
Like,
And like we know so many different people, like whether it's like, okay, this yoga teacher comes and like teaches this thing, or
yep.
we have this chef or dietitian come and like prepare us healthy meals and we're gonna do this activity. Like,
Yes. Yes. We're gonna start planning that. And maybe me and you are like the only ones there, and I'm still going.
no, I mean, I think we could pack the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that that's actually a really good idea. We should start
Okay,
planning that.
literally nothing matters. Retreat 2024.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to go?
Yeah. I feel like
Go off
Vermont
in the
is a really
comments.
good choice. Like I'm picturing, my sober circle that I told you about, like the
Yes.
in the middle of the woods, like glass windows everywhere,
Yeah.
like something like that.
Yeah.
Little splash of something spiritual in there because that's just me,
Yeah, I'm
little
there.
something physically like appealing, like
Yeah.
a little workout, something, a
Little
gentle.
mat Pilates.
Yeah. We'll have really yummy, healthy food the whole weekend.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. It's
girl,
gonna happen.
it's
This
going
that was a
down.
good last question.
Mm, thank you. I actually didn't even have it on here. It was a total different question, but it came to me.
See, you are a wonderful interviewer.
You, you're so sweet.
I'm really glad that it didn't end on the fuck Mary kill.
I was thinking
I'm
of
I'm still scarred from that.
it. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
y'all,
Yes, thank you for joining us. This has been so much fun. I hope to hear from everyone in the comments about some of your answers to these questions because this was fabulous. And I really hope that you take a minute to pause and answer the question of the last one. Really imagine your perfect life. We cannot wait to hear from you, and we will see you next week.
see you next week. Bye.